Here's a unique take on Halloween Horror Nights. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Rick here. I'm going to share my HHN experience with you. I've been several nights already, and I've had a lot of people ask me to do a house ranking video. Well, I've done house ranking videos in the past. Like, I did a lot of those in the late 20-teens, and then in moving into the 2020s, I started moving towards a rating system. Like, this house is 1 out of 5 screams, or this is a 4 out of 5 screams. So I rated the houses that way. This year, I thought I would do something a little different. I'm going to do tiers. Check out the tiers. One tier is going to be Because It's Here tier, the I want to do it again right now tier, the meh tier, the fear tier, and then my favorite house tier. So I thought that would be a fun way to do it. Plus, this video might be a little shorter. I'm doing no spoilers. Now, if you're not going to Halloween Horror Nights this year, you got to do what you got to do. If you want to have a virtual walkthrough of a house by watching a video that walks through a house and spoils you, more power to you. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But if you are going to Halloween Horror Nights this year, do yourself a favor. Do not look at the spoiler videos. Oh my gosh, there's so many cool things that you want to see for the first time with your own eyes. That's what happened to me on premium night. I went in unspoiled, knowing nothing what to expect inside the houses, and I had a lot of cool surprises. Some stuff I would love to tell you about. So cool. Some things that I saw, the way they've done some things this year, but I can't spoil it for you. So another reason why I wanted to do the tier list is I went through so many houses and I started to realize the difference between the houses as far as the quality, razor thin. So it'd be very, very difficult to rate something on, from 1 to 10 to rank them. And then if I tried to do the rating system, like a 1 to 5 star rating system, again, the difference is so razor thin. It'd be like, well, this house is a 4.2, or this one is a 4.3, which really is not, I don't see a lot of value in that. So that's how I came up with this tier system. And I'm so proud of myself. I love the tiers that I came up with. We're going to start with Because It's Here tier. Now, the first house going into this tier, Because It's Here, Museum Deadly Exhibits. Now, this happens to be the house I was most disappointed in. If I were to rank it or rate it, it would have a low ranking and a low rating. This, of all the 10 houses, I thought it was just the weakest effort all around. Set design, scares, which, let me stay on set design. The set design in all of the houses, save for this one, Museum Deadly Exhibits, amazing work by the creative team. I loved all the sets. So that's going to be a theme that goes from now on, after we get through museum here, a theme that runs through all of the houses. Just the set designs were just some of the best I've ever seen, except for Museum of Deadly Exhibits. But you're at Halloween Horror Nights. It's at Halloween Horror Nights. You're going to go through it. It's Because It's Here, you're going to go through it. The next house in the Because It's Here tier, I wouldn't say this was like my second lowest house. It's another house that, because you're at HHN, it's at HHN, you're going to go through it. They do one every year, a Classic Monsters house. This year's iteration, Classic Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. This house, the set design was amazing. It was, it's back there in one of those new HHN tents. So they had a lot of room. They had a lot of leeway to do stuff. It was just the set design, super duper good. But I don't think, and it's hard to do one of these Classic Monsters house every year. It just wasn't unique enough for me. But Because It's Here, you're going to go through it. They tried to make it unique, I think, by having like all of the scare actors or characters be female. So you had the Bride of Frankenstein, who's always female, but then you had stuff like a she-wolf. So it was all female centered, which I think was the unique spin they were trying to put on it this year, which, like I said, is difficult. If you're going to do a classic Monsters house every year, to try to put a different spin on it and make it unique is challenging. But to me, it just was not unique enough. If you want to have a unique classic Monsters house, I have a suggestion for you. How about something we don't really see? How about, at least not a lot of, Creature from the Black Lagoon? You want to have a unique classic Monsters house, that's the way to do it. So anyway, but because it's here, you're going to go through it. So those were the two houses in the Because It's Here tier: Museum, Deadly Exhibits, and Universal Monsters. Moving on to the next tier, the Want to Do It Again Right Now tier. So these houses were really, really fun. All of them had amazing, amazing set designs. So the first house I want to talk about, going into the I Want to Do It Again Right Now tier, is Goblin Feast, which, by the way, it is also in one of those new HHN tents in the back right next to Classic Monsters. But this one, starting from the facade, it had a very, very, I don't want to say grand, but just awesome front facade as you walk through the house, which Classic Monsters did not. All it had was like a poster on the building. At least with Goblin Feast, you had like a very detailed and ornate facade to walk through right at the beginning. But a super fun house. The sets, again, amazing. Had a lot of good scares. Really, really fun. And kind of scary. I mean, any of the houses can be scary because, you don't know what corner things are going to jump out and try to scare you. So all the houses have the potential to be scary. It's just a matter of the luck. Do you get the scare, or is it the party ahead of you get the scare? But I got some scares in Goblin Feast. And again, wonderful set design. Once you go through it, you're like, I want to do it again right away. The next Want to Do It Again right now is Major Suites. Now, this is a house that a lot of people will have some be familiar with, because there was a scare zone recently with Major Suites, and now it has its own haunted house. Again, another fun house. Good scares, a lot of like noise scares too. A lot of these houses will have noise scares or like air scares. Actually, the air scares kind of get me the most. They're not hiding behind a corner where you can kind of see, oh, there's the corner I'm going to get jumped at. No, the air scares kind of work the best. And with Major Suites, that is the house that's going to have a couple of red buttons that you can push and activate some scares on some other people. So look for, I think there's two red buttons in Major Suites, but a house that you go through, and when you get out, I want to do it again right now. The other house, and the last house I'm going to put in this tier, is going to be Ghostbusters. If you love the movie, if you like the movie, you're going to like the house. Again, keeping with the theme of the set designs, just a beautifully done house. The sets were amazing. Good scares, some fun scares, cool props. If you like marshmallows, maybe you're going to like that house too. But again, a super fun house, and one I feel like that once you get done with that, after you walk out, you're going to be like, let's do it again right now. The next category, the meh category. First house going in that is, and I don't have a lot to say about these, by the way, because it's like, meh. The first house going into the meh category is Triplets of Terror. And I'll go ahead and mention the other one going is the Monsters of Latin America. You just kind of go through those houses, at least I did. You go through the houses, and once you walk out, you're just like, meh. But again, a lot of that could be with good luck or bad luck with the timing of the scares. And one thing that could be affecting me in these two houses, these two houses I did not go through with my wife, Nikki. And to be quite honest, one of the best things about Halloween Horror Nights, what I enjoy most about the houses is walking behind Nikki, because I always make her go first, is watching her get scared. So that's going to have a little bit of an effect on me not having Nikki get scared in front of me. I don't get scared too much. It's rare that they're able to catch me off guard and get scared, but I get a lot of joy from seeing Nikki being scared. And I went through these houses on my own. But still, and it's unlike the previous tier where it's like, oh, I want to go again right now. You walk out of these houses and you just go, okay, did it. And now, a tier that, for Halloween Horror Nights, a lot of you will be interested in is the Fear tier. And I think the scariest house this year, Insidious. If you like to have fear, get scared, which, I mean, you must if you're going to Halloween Horror Nights and going through haunted houses, that is the house for you, Insidious. And the second scariest house, in my opinion, at Halloween Horror Nights 2024, A Quiet Place. And I just realized as I'm saying this, I'm saying that the two scariest houses are IP houses, intellectual property houses, houses based on movies. I just realized that. But anyway, if you're going to Halloween Horror Nights and you want to get scared, or maybe you're the other way. Hey, maybe those are going to be too scary for me. At least now you know, at least in my opinion, the two scariest houses, Insidious and A Quiet Place. Though, like I said, any of the houses can have scares. It just depends on your timing walking through the maze, if you get the scare or the party before you or after you get the scare, and how staffed up is the house at the moment you're going through it with scare actors. It seems like in every house there was like, oh, here's a spot that there should be a scare actor, there should be a scare. I noticed that, and there wasn't. So also staffing is going to play a part of that. And then the last tier, my favorite house tier. So obviously, it's only going to be one. And the one we haven't mentioned yet, super duper fun. I loved it. I could put this also in the category, I want to go again right now tier. But this was my favorite house of the year so far, Slaughter Cinema 2. I loved walking through, I think, 8 movies? The fun 8 movies that they have you walk through. Cool sets. There are some very, very cool props. One of the coolest props I've ever seen. I would love to tell you about it, but I can't. I want you, if you're going, to be surprised when you see it so that you can have that surprise, just endorphin reaction that I had when I saw this prop. It's a big, huge prop. So much fun. I love it. I just love it, especially for Universal. It fits right in. Boy, I wish I could tell you about it. And also, it had one of my favorite rooms because of, it's kind of a joke. I would love to tell you about this too. I get the joke of the room of the movie. Gosh, I wish I could tell you. Do I want to tell you? I can't tell you. But it does have, it has a room. I wouldn't say it was scary for me, but I get the joke of the room. It is hilarious. But I loved walking through all 8 unique horror movies in Slaughter Cinema 2. You know what? This is one where I wouldn't mind if they did this one like they do the classic monsters every year. Slaughter Cinema 3, 4, 5. I love it. 6, 7, 8. They can just keep changing it up with very creative, unique horror movies. Yeah, they could do that. I wouldn't be upset. Maybe not every year, maybe every other year. But I would love to see in the future a Slaughter Cinema 3. So much fun. So anyway, guys, there are my tiers. Like I said, it's hard to rank them. If I was to go to 1 to 10, 1 and 2, probably Insidious and and of course my favorite, Slaughter Cinema 2. The last ranked or lowest rated would be Museum Deadly Exhibits. But the difference between each house, razor thin, I really couldn't do that. And each one had, other than Museum, I was really, really impressed with all of the sets inside of the houses. A little bit of a contrast to what they did with the scare zones. Other than Torture Fair, I thought the scare zones were a little lacking, you know? So it seems like maybe the budget was smaller for scare zones, but they sure did make up for it with the budget for the set designs in all of the haunted houses, save Museum. Just, you go through it because it's there. Because it's here. But anyway, there are my thoughts on the 10 houses at Halloween Horror Nights. Don't miss the magic. Don't miss the fun. Don't miss the screams. See you next time.
His name is Rick. Her name is Nikki. Showing how theme parks are done. Don't miss the magic. Don't miss the fun. Hit subscribe.